What is good? Let's have some fun. It's the Fundamism podcast with your host Paul J. Long and all things fun. We'll let the fun begin. Woo! What is good, ladies and gentlemen? It is Paul J. Long coming to you live from the Fundamism podcast. And of course, you are not listening to this live, but I'm recording it live. You know what I'm talking about. Up top, boom. We're brought to you, as always, by our fun friends over at Charlie Hustle. So if you're looking to be the baddest, the cleanest, the freshest on the block, then check out charliehustle.com because they got you covered. This, of course, is the podcast where we feature fun individuals that are creating fun, joy, and fulfillment, not only in their lives, but the lives of others. And you're in for a treat, ladies and gentlemen, because tonight we're drinking LaCroix and vodka with my fun friend, Miss Molly Balloons. What's good, Molly?
Golly, shucks. Thanks. Those are a lot of nice words in a row.
This is how it starts,
What's
ladies
good?
and gentlemen.
A lot's good.
Give me one thing that's good.
You're holding a mannequin head named Charlie.
That is true.
Like, let's start there.
What? Tell me one fun fact about Charlie.
She's bald. She's been around the block. Most of the time, she doesn't freak me out because I have like mannequin heads all over my home. You know, as you do. But it was even recently, I was doing like a project late into the night, and I was doing it in the living room just because, whatever. I don't need to explain myself.
Because who are you?
Yeah. And I looked over, and I like really thought she was just like staring into my soul.
She probably was.
Spooked, baby, spooked.
Yes.
So she mostly doesn't scare me, but she scares a lot of people
Not me.
over the years.
I embrace the creepiness.
The whole intro, I would like the audience to know you did the whole intro, like for emphasis, like smacked a mannequin head against your leg.
Because it says that I like people. I mean, like this is a friend of mine. So before we get too far down the darkest path, I'd like to start every single guest interview with one question, Molly. Is it cool if I call you Molly, or does the balloons have to be in there?
I think I like to be referred to as Molly Balloons, but I don't need to always be addressed as Molly Balloons. That seems a little much.
My apologies, Molly Balloons.
Molly's fine. Okay. Thesis, Molly's okay.
So, Molly, what do you do for fun?
Everything.
Tell me about
I don't
it.
do anything not for fun.
How's that even possible?
Well, because on some level I'm doing it for fun. Because I'm having fun towards my career, and so like everything I have to like labor through in a professional sense, I'm laboring it through for more fun.
So I hate
Did
asking.
you feel?
I do feel. I feel his mannequin head.
Yeah. Touch it.
So I hate to ask really basic questions like what do you do and all that jazz, but you have, you have the name of Molly Balloons, and you said that
It's a family name.
Is it? like so there's Daddy Balloons
He said that off air, and I cringed audibly.
because he's not Daddy Balloons. What's
No, he's Papa Balloon. Isn't that cute?
Papa Balloon. And there's Mama Balloon, who I met earlier. She's
Mama
awesome.
Balloons is so fun.
She is on some of your Instagram posts I saw today.
She is.
And what is your Instagram?
Molly Balloons.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you do not follow Molly Balloons on Instagram,
Just delete the app while you're at it.
yeah, that's exactly what you have to do. Because I'm
And
telling
I don't know
you,
if I'm saying like you screwed up so badly by not following it, you should just abandon the whole app. Or if instead of following me, you should just skip it and delete the app. I don't know.
because she is the end of Instagram. So seriously, you are one of the most fun follows, and it's the exact reason why I reached out, because I follow you, and you every post is music related or engaging or fun, or you doing something that is outgoing and creating fun for other people. So you mentioned earlier that you like to create fun in all that you do, even the mundane tasks. A lot of people struggle with that. Like a lot of organizations listen to this podcast, folks that I speak with, but also individuals. They think that they want to have more fun in life, but they have no idea how to get there. So how do you create more fun in your life, sister? I mean, I'm looking at it right now. You're wearing
Right.
If
Well, starting out, I like always try to look fun. And I get that, like, I used to think everybody should just like be more like me and want to talk to everybody all the time. But that's just not how like extroversion and introversion works.
Correct.
That's would just exhaust people. And not everybody wants to wear a checkerboard cat suit like I am right now. Like I would just go to Aldi like that. And like why some people would just never feel at home in who they are doing that kind of stuff.
Sure.
And so I finally like, I'm understanding that a little bit more, that I can't like just try to tell people like, you should just wear checkerboard cat suits. That's your problems. But like not assuming that like your day to day is something to pass through and get on to the next best thing. Like I was attempting to say this earlier and I couldn't find the acronym, but I found it. NPCs. There are no NPCs in the game of life, the non-player characters in a video game. And so like everyone you interact with has a full personality, and trying to see how much you can extract from each interaction is like, my favorite. I kind of made a goal a while ago. I made a goal. To have
It was a tentative goal.
Tentative goal.
It was a conditional goal.
I thought about a goal.
If I make it happen, then it happens.
Casey Neistat says if you can't
NPCs.
without a goal you can't score, but like, well, do I want to score? I'll think about scoring.
Sure.
Anyway. I kind of made the goal that I'm gonna have a fully fun experience with every toll booth I ever go through.
What does that look like?
Practice.
Okay.
Because that's like an easy, like one and done. You don't have to stick around with this person. You can just like lob comments back and forth.
Yes.
And you'll never have to be like, so what do you do for work? You'll never have to like go through the stock questions. And so you can just like say something silly and they might say something silly back, and then you can lob back and forth. Because the only, like a lot of the reason I would consider myself somebody who's talented at making day-to-day tasks very fun is because I've had the platform to practice that back and forth lobbing goofy comments as a career. Like that's what I do. I show up to parties and I cannonball into the middle of them and I make them fun. Like that's my job.
Cannonball.
Cannonball. I hope that works.
So I have so many questions.
So that's a good spot to like practice lobbing comments back and forth. And that can evolve and translate really well into like being fun at parties and having more fun, like at the checkout counter at Aldi. And how many times can I mention Aldi in this podcast?
Oh,
I'm going for more.
But we're not sponsored by them.
We're not sponsored, but like, hit me up.
But I mean, if you want, and LaCroix. So a million questions. So first of all, if this is your first time tuning in, Fundamism can be defined as the fundamentals of a fun and optimistic lifestyle. So basically, whatever you do for strength, whatever gives you joy, fun, and fulfillment in life, that's Fundamism. That's a fundamental. And so what Molly Balloons is talking about right now is making very mundane tasks fun by finding interesting topics or making silly comments. Or maybe you had mentioned that there's no NPC, whatever, something
non-player characters in life. You're playing a video game and like one of the characters is not one of your friends because you didn't have 4 players, you only had 3. It's that. There's no NPCs in the game of life. Great.
So, But to your point, not everybody is built like you or me, because I would say that you and I are very similar in that regard. But there's some people that are.
If you're watching on YouTube, it's extra funny because we're both wearing the most outlandish nonsense.
What do you mean outlandish? What do you mean? This is
we
dope.
just pulled from my wardrobe, but I'm an objective cat. Like I'm wearing a checkerboard onesie and flipped up. But we both are wearing our bills flipped up to set the tone.
I am 100% certain I saw Will Smith wear this same outfit in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah. Ooh, bookmark a question.
Okay.
And it related to The Fresh Prince. Great.
All right. So a couple things.
Okay.
So first of all, toll booth. Now, that is amazing to me because that could be identified as a fundamental of Fundamism. So how do you take this interaction where typically people are talking about work, weather, family? We've talked about this before in the podcast.
Or talking about nothing.
Or talk about nothing.
But it's like the simplified version of when people are usually talking about work, weather, or nothing. Because you're starting out with a blank canvas because usually you don't talk. Because normally you're plagued with, that's why it's my favorite example. Normally you're plagued with like the work, weather, family.
Yeah.
Where you just have to like sift through those topics.
So surfacey.
And it's so surfacey. And especially if you don't know someone super well or you'd like to get them to know them better. And just like not just catch up and stay current, but instead like get something new and throw them a curveball. Wow, I didn't like lose my train of thought over. Wow,
Deep breath.
it just like fell off a cliff. Like that that topic was
So
going
let's play
straight
this
forward and
out.
drop off.
I'm a toll booth attendant.
Yep,
You pull up. I say, that's tree 50.
tree fitty.
And you say what?
Tree fitty. I'm kind of kidding, but like I don't know.
Nope,
Maybe I would.
she's not kidding.
I'm probably not very kidding.
That's amazing.
I have a calendar called Every Day's a Holiday 2018. Every day is a holiday, and they're all pretty obscure. I don't know what today's is. I think yesterday was National Deviled Egg Day. So I do like wishing people the national holiday. That's a fun hack.
That's on
That's like
Instagram.
easy. Yeah.
I've seen those.
So fun.
So,
You can do anything. Like when you realize you can literally just tell them a fun fact, like just start with that and you don't need to do anything else or follow up in a meaningful way. You can just like do that and live in that space because you don't have to, you're not going to ask about that toll booth attendant's family.
how would you, so knowing that you're like that and others aren't as comfortable in that space, what advice would you give? Because you know what, I find that would be super beneficial. So I'm a sales guy or a sales gal, and I'm going on a sales call, and every single individual that I've ever worked with is always talking about the widgets and the value proposition and how amazing this product's going to be. But rarely do people talk
God,
about.
I'm bored.
I know, right?
Just thinking about it.
So for individuals listening that are like that, like how do you create fun in that interaction? Like I don't even start with the sale. Like I start with building a rapport and having fun and being zany because that's what's memorable. So
I
what
will
do you
learn
do?
so much more about you by asking you if you had a sidekick animal, what kind of sidekick animal would you have? That's one of my favorite questions in the last, 6 months. I started asking kids that, and now I love asking everyone that because it shows you a lot more about a person, like how they answer it. If they take it really literally and they're not abstract, they don't live in the gray area, they take it very black and white of like, what is the function of this
Animal.
this psychic animal? Yeah. I would do this because it has this function, and I would get an eagle because then it could go retrieve things and bring it back to me. Or
Rob said he'd do an eagle.
oh yeah, I did. Oh, I did. Thanks, subconscious, for pulling that little tidbit. Mm-hmm. Bringing it to my
Yeah, I got you.
train of thought. Or some people would be like, what's my aura? Am I somebody who had like a shoulder situation or like something four-legged? And like you can tell so much more about a person just by how they take a curveball than the traditional straightforward questions. Like I love just curveballs, silly curveballs.
Do you remember what my sidekick animal was?
Big cat, right?
A huge cat,
Lion.
specifically a lion, right? But before we
Wow.
got there, I had to ask qualifying questions.
You did.
So is it a customized? Because
This
nobody
was
can.
last week, by the way. I don't have this bad of a memory from like an hour
Yeah,
ago.
on the first day that we were scheduled to
Stop
do the
that.
podcast.
Stop that right now.
So
Nobody knows whose fault it is. It's the verdict's out.
So, first question I asked is, does it have to be the animal in its current state, right? Because I wouldn't want a lion. A lion would clearly maul me and everybody
Right,
around
like
me,
it's
right?
just like objectively a bad idea to like bring a lion to Westport.
Exactly.
You know?
But if
You know what
the
I mean?
lion was my cat at home, Maximilian Alexander, shout out, what's good?
Maximilian's listening at home like, oh.
Dude, he loves Papa. I mean, we cuddle, we snuggle.
loves shout-outs.
Yeah. And so specifically, and I could give him treats like that, right? Max loves treats.
Yeah.
Here's my point.
They're entirely customizable, but yeah, continue.
So if the lion had the personality of my cat and loved dad like my cat and chased me around the house like my cat and didn't maul people and was snuggly and
Until
awesome
instructed.
until instructed,
You know, 'cause
would that
that's
not be the
handy.
best sidekick animal of all time?
well, for you.
True. What would
But like, yeah.
what would yours be?
I've thought about this far too much.
Okay.
And I think I also have big cat energy, of course, because we're like the same. I wouldn't have a shoulder piece. I wouldn't have anything to, unless it was a lemur. I've tried on for size a lemur, but I think since I'm so out there, I think it's because it's not your spirit animal, it's your sidekick animal.
Mm-hmm.
So I also have thought about a big cat. I think, and like, what's the coolest big cats? Tiger, panther,
Panthers are pretty tight.
turquoise panther.
Turquoise panther?
I think I'd do a turquoise panther.
Like you're customizing the color?
Yeah,
That
this is my question.
So awesome.
So, but because I want to like cat. I'm very much cat energy, and I want like the more cat, the better. The more to snuggle with, and also like bigger, more fun. And then rideable. You know, you can like it's like transportation. You got a bird scooter. I have a real panther. Skirt. Oh, my voice can't do it today. I can do that. But then I probably also give it.
I edited it.
I edited it. Apparently, if you say I edited it, that's a good sentence to train yourself to learn how to roll your R's.
Which I can't do.
Because I was going earlier and Paul was
Yes. Which, like, is not...
deflated even.
I was deflated, actually. No, seriously. I took 7 years of Spanish, and I can't speak a lick, right? And part of it
that
is,
phrase come
A,
from?
I never did the homework, because that's important.
I believe that.
What's that supposed to mean? What is the hat? Second, B, I couldn't roll my R's. And so I recently was doing a gig.
Mom, go roll your R's in front of my friends.
Mom, the meatloaf! So, speaking of meatloaf, you mentioned that you...
Love that segue. Don't use that segue again. I hear that all the time. Oh, hey, my turquoise panther would have wings before we leave that topic. If I listened to this back and I didn't mention the wings, I'd be devastated. Because then, guess who can fly now, B? It's me.
Who?
Me.
Molly Balloons.
Molly Balloons.
Okay, Molly Balloons. We'd mentioned that you come in, middle of a party bomb, boom.
But on a turquoise panther with wings.
On a turquoise panther.
With wings.
We really haven't established what the heck you do. I mean, clearly, Molly Balloons.
I'm a tax accountant. Molly Balloons is a family name. I enjoy long walks on the beach and romance novels.
Is that true?
No.
Okay.
I like walking on beaches.
Do you like reading?
I'd love to be like, yeah, I've read 46 books this year, but I'm just not that. I honestly, I podcast more.
Okay.
Listen.
Sure,
I also
get it.
am now speaking on one, but.
But would you swoop up an audiobook if somebody put out a really riveting audiobook? Say, like, for
I'm
example,
not against it.
A friend of yours.
I do like to read, but I just
Okay.
don't read as much as I'd like to pretend
So
that I do.
completely hypothetical. I mean, a friend of yours, somebody that you highly respect, right? I mean, somebody that you're just
Highly
just
respect.
super connected with. They put out a book, like, say, I don't know, it's called Fundamism, Connecting to Life Through
knew
Fun,
you were
or
going
something
there.
like that.
I knew you were going there.
And it dropped November 13th. Holla. And big deal to him, right? I mean, would you swoop up this book?
Hypothetically?
Yeah, completely hypothetically.
Hypothetically, I'm going to pre-order it. Hypothetically, as soon as this podcast's over. Hypothetically.
Well, I appreciate your support.
Hypothetical support.
So, tax accountant, you go to a balloon party.
I'm a balloon artist.
Okay.
I make balloons for a living. I do not manufacture balloons. So it's only ever dudes who ask this follow-up question.
But no.
When I say
but we
I make
didn't.
balloons, some people are like, oh, you manufacture them? No, I don't manufacture. Who would put this in charge of a manufacturing plant? Oh my God. Not anyone smart.
What is your favorite balloon item? Art form to make? Balloon?
Creation?
Creation. Thank you.
I'm like 67% on the way to a burp. It's a really like.
You should make it happen.
Like, you leaving me? Everybody home, start chanting. Oh, now I just canceled it out. I thought the LaCroix would do it. Okay. My favorite balloon creation to make? I'm inherently improvisational.
Okay.
And I'm also very abstract. Like, ask me to make you a race car balloon.
That's very.
Oh, that is funny. Maybe that's fun.
Yeah.
My answer was gonna be, you were gonna say, make me a race car balloon, and then I was gonna say no, but I'll just do the whole thing. I'll do both sides of the script. It's fine, Paul. Do you even need you? I'm pulling the team right now.
Oh, you wanted me to be in character.
Oh.
Can we repeat?
No.
Okay.
No second takes.
That's right. No second takes. That's exactly right. Because where's the fun in that? Like, you don't get second takes in life. Molly Balloons wanted to take like 37 takes. I'm like, no, this is the fun stuff. This is give the people what they want.
That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. There was a butt clench, and you can guess what part of the sentence it was in. Figure it out at home. I like things that are abstract, and I like things that are inherently improvisational. So I like making people wearables that match their outfit and that match the size of their personalities. And I have like plastic headbands
Okay.
that I bring around with me when I make balloons. And so it doesn't mix your hair up. So I like doing fascinators. Ooh. Sorry, I thought I spilled something. I didn't.
That's why I moved it earlier.
Woo! And then I moved it back because I thought I was going to burp. A fascinator. Do you know what the word of fascinator means?
It's used to fasten, but it also doubles as something that's super
Fascinates.
appealing.
Amazing. Yeah.
Is that true?
Decide for yourself. You know the derby hats that go around the equator of your noggin,
Yes.
around the whole thing.
Yeah.
They're like the derby hats that kind of come off the side of your head.
Yes.
That's a fascinator.
Okay.
So I make a lot of balloon fascinators. Those are probably my favorites. 'Cause
Fascinating.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I like making wearables live for people and seeing the reactions and being able to like intuit their aura and regurgitate it via latex fashion.
Sounds delicious. I mean, that just sounds like a world-class idea, sister.
That's why they pay me the big bucks. So yeah, okay, that answer was so long.
No, it was great. What's the most memorable moment that you could latch onto from a balloon event that you worked?
Oh, ever?
Yeah.
This is all I've ever done.
Check this out. I got you, fam.
Oh, really?
Boom. And then it just sits here. Look, check this out. See?
Okay.
And then it sits.
We fixed my microphone.
Most memorable thing that
Most
ever happened to
memorable?
you when working.
Oh boy. Oh man. There's so many.
This is
But I can't think of any.
Here's the good thing. This is what happens when you ask people questions that they don't typically hear.
Mike Birbiglia on Tim Ferriss's podcast gave a great tidbit about if you ever meet a celebrity, don't say, if you meet Jimmy Fallon on the street, don't ask him, or don't say, hey, I love you on the Tonight Show. You should say something far more obscure that he didn't expect to hear today, and you're so much more likely to get a response. And I love that. And that goes into like, I'm a sales
sidekick
rep
animal.
at Vera Wang, and we're all talking about the same thing every day. And somebody asks
Aldi's.
me, how do you feel about kiwis?
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
I love that.
That's the whole premise of
love
showing
that.
a genuine and all the questions that you like to ask and force people to think in conversation, because the bulk of people don't force us to think in conversation. So hang on to that. What's the most memorable moment that you've had?
Okay, I'll put it on the back burner.
But you know what I think we should do? Something super fun right now.
Oh my God.
So you make balloons, stuff, and we're in the, what do we call this?
The Bloffice.
Oh, the Bloffice.
The balloon office.
Balloon office. So you make up words. That's what I
do
do.
make up
I made up Fundamism. Did you know that?
I assumed that.
Thank you.
I intuited that.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to inhale a little helium, and we're going
helium?
to carry forth this interview.
Oh my God, fine.
This is so fun. All right. Ladies first.
Wait, do we have a prompt for what we're going to say on helium? Because, like a traditional mistake for being on...
I just think that we should wing it, Molly Balloons. I mean, I like to go full bore, not knowing what's going on.
So my question for you is, what's the past tense of wing it? Have you wung it? Did you wing it?
We sound like,
Pull the lever, Crunk.
We represent the lollipop kids. Oh,
the
my goodness.
lollipop.
That's
I was on
fun.
harmonies, baby. I got you.
I'm not harmonious.
Well, that's why you were on the melody.
So speaking of which, you said that you're a singer, aren't you?
Yeah, not after that. Shoot. So we have an industrial sized helium tank behind me. Like, this is not some Party City nonsense. Like, I got this from Hellget Gas, which I have to have an account at. Like, oh my God. This is so you, not me. My microphone's having issues.
Is it?
Notice my language. My microphone's having issues, not I'm having
She's
issues with my
super
microphone.
professional, though.
Shoot.
All right, so industrial.
And it's a little messed up where you have to like crank it from the. Hang on.
Crank it up. You gotta crank it up, guys. Helium is the best.
Hurts. Jesus. Because it's messed up.
No, I'm not a singer, not anymore. What's your favorite vernacular word for getting drunk? Crunk? Turned? Lit?
I like turnt.
I like to get turned.
Tore up.
Tore up.
Honestly, I don't like to drink very often. Drinking doesn't make me feel fantastic, especially in our older age.
Right, our older age. That took me a long time to hit that. Are you trying to hit this, dude?
That's a fun bit. You can ask people, can I hit that about a lot more things than like a pipe going around?
Oh,
Woo!
Like, can I get a drink of that? But like,
Yeah, like-
you got LaCroix and vodka, and you say, hey man, can I hit that?
No. Like somebody's applying sunscreen and you want some, and you're like, hey, can I hit that, dude? When you would like to use the thing somebody else is using, yeah. Or like you want somebody just put their charger down and you want to be using that charger. Hey, can I hit that?
Speaking of hitting it, if you had, if you could go
Yes.
any place on the planet, like if you could be anywhere with absolutely no limitations, where would you go?
No limitations?
Yeah, sky's the limit.
Sky's okay, so like
Not Sky Zone.
I want to be at Sky Zone Trampoline Park. Duh. We're not sponsored, but we're trying to be.
Shout out to Sky Zone.
Limitations as in like I can have superhuman powers while I'm in this location because
This is the best part.
or like I just have no budget. As in lots of budget.
Any of those things.
Okay. I have the ability to fly and I'm in Tokyo.
Tokyo. Why did you choose Tokyo?
Tokyo, it's been high on my list.
Okay.
For that elaborate as a follow-up question, and that's my whole reason.
I thought that was some more there on the back end. Okay. Fair enough.
What is it? Wait, actually, what have been your high on your lists? Give me like top 5, don't think too hard, places you'd like to travel to.
City of Atlantis.
Great.
Because it's on an island, beautiful beaches. I love water parks. I'm kind of fearful of, we talked about this. I say fearful. Like rides and stuff. I'm not fearful. I just don't like the feeling. Like,
I had a learning experience there of not assuming that I should just like force people to skydive with me, but instead understand that maybe that is no fun for some other people.
like,
Turns out humans are created differently and maybe we all enjoy different stuff.
hey, what do you mean by that? You better watch your mouth, sister.
Sorry.
You calling me different?
You calling me created. That's what I thought you were riffing on.
So, well, I don't know. I'm riffing on life. I feel like we're doing well. I mean, I feel like you're picking it up, I'm throwing it down, and then vice versa.
Bump set spike.
Do you feel it?
I feel like we have a really good bump spike energy.
Yeah, no sets.
No sets here.
It's like, oh, there she goes again.
Bump and then spike and then like, well, I missed it. Wait, what? What are you? Is
I thought that was you. Was it me? Was it you? Was it me? So, all right, you said 5. I don't have 5. I'm going to go Atlantis.
Yeah, you do.
Someplace I've always wanted to go is in Greece.
I'm going to go to Greece in March. You coming?
No.
Great.
Where are you going?
See you there. It's all the way in March.
Where are you going?
I don't know. I've been dying to go back to Berlin. It's my favorite city. But the world...
You've been dying? Is there something that we should know?
Since the day I was born.
That is true. I saw on Band of Brothers recently. It's a HBO thing.
Do you think we've been dying since the moment we were born, or do we peak and then go down?
No, we've been dying since the day we were born.
Really?
I mean, that's the truth.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I like to say that, but I've never actually given it much thought.
No, on Band of Brothers, HBO special. Shout out to
on
HBO.
the Naked Brothers Band on Nickelodeon in 04, they were saying that.
Is Naked Brothers Band a thing?
Yeah, in 04.
Is that really true?
Google it.
Okay, I'll Google it. No, they said, so this corporal says to one of his privates, he says, you know what your problem is, private? You don't realize that you're already dead.
Wow.
I know.
By the time this airs.
But isn't that crazy? Like, that's the truth. Like, in reality, we're dead. I mean, it's an inevitable conclusion.
In reality, we're dead. I want that to be the title of this podcast.
What I'm saying is, the inevitable truth is we all are going to die.
Oh.
And it's so much of a fear of everybody that it limits everything that they do, right?
I love the constant reminder of death.
Are you
Jason Silva passionately disagrees with me. Do you know Jason Silva?
Never heard of him.
My favorite speaker in current media. I think the most eloquent person in the public eye.
Air.
In the air.
above me,
look up-
6 inches.
You can just guess what my hand gesture was. His YouTube show, Shots of Awe, they're like philosophical.
I have seen that.
Yes.
Yes.
Philosophical espresso shots.
Drops of Jupiter. Shout out to Train. Keep going. Jason Silva. I thought you liked music. Sorry, I thought you were.
Oh, so I thought you liked music, but turns out you hate me. Music hater. I like the constant reminder of death. I'm infatuated with the ephemeral. You like when I say sentences like that?
I don't even know what that means.
Ephemeral means temporary, fleeting,
Oh.
only for a moment.
Which is something that you do on your Instagram. You do like words of the week, maybe, or something.
Oh, just when I have a good word of the day on my word of the day app. Not sponsored, but trying to be.
The one that recently you did was not plethora.
Panache?
Panache. But you've done it a couple times.
Where I just really like a word definition, or I have to go look up a word and I enjoy it and I put it on my story.
What is panache?
Flamboyant confidence.
Okay.
And then my friend Pineapple was like, "You are panache," and I was like, "Girl,
How dare you?
I'm infatuated with the ephemeral. I love things that are only there for a moment. I mean, my entire art form, my entire career is like based on only the moment. The moment is all we have.
Do. So I'd like to do some rapid fire questions right now. I mean, like,
We're all gonna die. The moment is all we have. Be sure to like and subscribe. We're all gonna die. But
what did you do?
I broke it. I broke it while I was singing that.
So don't worry about it.
Comment below what you think I broke. That's like not the podcast
That
format.
is so funny though, because my daughter is super into these YouTube videos, like Steven Scherer, and they're always like, what do I have in this box? Comment below on what you think I have in this box. It's a magnet.
The weird thing about being obnoxiously brandy, like that, like just really comment below, like, be sure to like and subscribe, is that, or like, tag 3 friends in this post, is that it works way better than I want it to.
Super way better.
This is the first time in the, like, whatever, public eye that I've ever like dicked around with helium.
Whoa, you went full NC-17 on us.
Sorry.
Just joking with
Sorry
you.
about it.
Just
Should
settle
we start
down.
over? We're only 30 minutes in.
Hey, I
we
have a
haven't said
question.
anything of merit.
Let's go rapid fire. Rapid fire. Top of the head, top of the dome. Whatever comes to you with the question that is asked is the answer that you have to throw out. Okay.
hit me.
Okay.
I want you to hit me.
All right.
Do you get that Vine reference?
What's the? No, I don't. I don't watch Vine. Is Vine
Yeah.
still a thing?
No, it's not a thing. Catch up. Oh my God. Do you live under a rock?
No, Vine is dead. R.I.P. in peace.
Last 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
The most
Stressed.
The most memorable gut busting laughter that you had. What was it?
Okay. Follow up question about rapid fire. How fast do my answers have to be?
Oh, I don't care.
Okay.
It's more just like whatever comes to the dome. Don't overthink it. When was the last time you just laughed out loud, like hilarious? This is a great time. This is funny. So funny.
Okay. The only thing that's even coming to mind, and it really just threw my head back in laughter. I hit the wall I was leaning against, actually. That's real life. It was me and my 2 gal pals sitting on my kitchen floor, kind of with our like legs propped off different places. It felt really gal pally,
Yeah.
And that was part of how nice it was. We just like talked about everything and talked about meaningful things and goofy things, and we just like, wow, gal palled, which is something I've not super had in my life, is just like gal pals to sit on my kitchen floor with and drink LaCroix and order tacos with. It was really nice. Anyway, it was like a Friday night too. Anyway, Katie, my soulmate, is also kind of my top employee in the meantime when she's also getting her pharmaceutical doctorate, because she's extra time on her hands.
Super smart.
Oh my God, it's dumb. Like, stupid smart. She was describing this job I had sent her on because I think I was like in Australia or doing another job. I don't remember. Of this fantastic friend of mine, Pam. She was describing this, and I'd never heard the story, that she walked into the best house she's ever been into. And like all the decor was immaculate and so like thematic. It was the best house she's ever been into in a party that will be nicer than both of our weddings, and she was like, wow, who's this? She was making balloon cactuses. Cacti.
Because why not, right?
Right. Because, sell it. And she asked somebody like, wow, who's this party for? The best thing anybody's ever seen. And she points to the floor to a 1-year-old face down on the carpet. Just, like, her.
Are you wheezing? Is that a wheeze?
It's a velociraptor laugh. Please don't make fun of my identity. I don't know.
What's the velociraptor's name?
Molly Balloons. I identify as
Weak.
velociraptor. Anyway, that really gave me such a giggle that like, who's this party for? The best party I've ever seen, and just that bitch on the like face down on the carpet is this 1-year-old that I get in my interpretation of the story. Nobody's monitoring. She's been there a while. She's like fine with it. Oh,
She's
that was
tuckered out. You ballooned her up.
She's tuckered out.
All right,
Anyway.
ask me one. You're a master at the art form of questioning.
If you had a third eye, where would you put it?
If I had a third eye,
Sorry, I made my answer really long. I'll
no, that
rapid
was a-
fire to the true sense of the rapid fire. Okay, starting now.
I am not
If you had a
putting
third eye,
conditions.
where would you put it?
If I had a third eye, where would I put it? I think I'd put it on my left hand.
Ooh.
What are you sneezing? Rob, what is going on right now?
Tell him what your third eye, man. Where would you put that?
I'd put it on my left hand.
What special things would you do with your third eye? And would you just see with it, or would you like access the universe?
Whoa.
Or does that seem like too much for a day?
That's really deep. Like access the universe. What do you mean by that? Are you okay?
The heck if I know. Okay, left hand. That's your answer.
I just feel like that'd be really dope. Like
You could reach
people,
around and
like,
see a lot of things. Like you could see at
exactly,
concerts
and
really
they
well.
don't know. But also, people don't know that you're looking at
Under
them.
the stall.
You're like, because sometimes you're like, oh my gosh, you're like really self-conscious out in public, right? Like your mirror, right? Your mirror is something that is a security blanket at times for folks, not necessarily you, right? So
You lost me now, and I'm just lost in my own mirror.
one of the things that you said to both Rob and I when we were at Chipotle the other day is that we had something in our teeth, and you said, I'm the type of friend that if you have something in your teeth or something in your nose or whatever, I'm going to tell you, and I hope that you would do the same, right?
I like really took a lap on y'all. I was like, you should check your top right molar or
Yes.
top right thing, and Rob, check the left side of your mouth. And I hope you do the same for me.
Exactly.
Because I felt almost bad. I really like dove in.
No, that's exactly what I feel like.
birds,
That's
one.
why is society so reserved that they feel uncomfortable looking out for somebody else.
Oh my God, literally tell me.
Literally.
And now what my new way of asking it, and this is probably more helpful for the female listeners because there's just like more cosmetic situation going on, so there's more to like edit. Is when I'm like, okay, how's my lipstick? And people are like, good. And I'm like, girl, if this were your face and you were looking in a mirror, what would you change? Is now how I've reframed the question. Instead of like yay or nay, because people are going to want to say yay unless they're bold and want to give you a specific nay on some front.
Yeah.
But like, okay, if this was the mirror and you were looking at this face, what about this would you primp? And then I get good answers.
Interesting. You know why I think that people won't give honest answers? Ego. Like, because the truth of the matter is that it is when you say, do I have a booger or do I have something stuck in my teeth? What goes through the individual that you're asking, unless you're super comfortable with them and they're super comfortable with you, is, oh my gosh, I don't want to tell them. Oh my gosh, I don't want to be an a-hole. Oh my gosh, I don't want to feel the discomfort associated with this discussion. So they don't do it. So in reality, it's not about you anymore. It's about them.
Right.
So if I had
Absolutely.
a third eye on my hand, check this out. I could be able to see.
Oh my God, it's a selfie cam. Wow, handy.
Do I have something
Also,
in my teeth? Do I have a booger?
So
Do I have
dangerous because then you could just watch yourself perform your entire existence. And would it aid the beauty with which we navigate our world if we constantly watched ourselves doing it? Would we become more self-aware, or would we become more reserved and obnoxiously editing?
The latter, definitively. I feel like we as a society, we cannot have more technology or more features and various things that we will not just completely lose ourselves in. It's like we have
I'm already
no
lost.
self-control. Exactly, my point. Okay, so speaking of lost, another awesome segue. Let's see.
No, another rapid fire question. Another round.
yeah, that's what I was going to do.
Oh, great.
That was my segue.
Oh my God.
You didn't get the connection?
You guys. Okay, go.
Okay. What's one thing that you've always wanted to do, but for one reason or the other, you just haven't?
I have such a good answer. Okay.
Just ask her.
I'm a licensed skydiver. I skydive. I haven't in a while, but I have a bunch. I have like 30 dives, and I'm a balloon artist. My specialty is fashion. I make balloon dresses. They're tightly woven gowns. Find me on Instagram. Just do the dang thing. And I've never skydived out of. I've decided to skydive, not skydove. I just decided it. Somebody
I think that
had
sounds
to.
much better.
Yeah, I think so too. I've never skydived out of a hot air balloon. And like, that's all my favorite things all in one. I've never been in a hot air balloon. So what my dream situation is make a balloon dress that matches the color scheme of the hot air balloon I'm going into. There's another hot air balloon with a production team, whatever. I don't know what's going on over there, but definitely a camera.
Yes.
And I do a photo shoot in a balloon dress that matches the hot air balloon. Then I pop the hot air balloon dress. Then I put on a skydiving rig and I jump out. Fee, 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 fee. Why haven't I done that? Probably because a lot of logistics and a lot of permission slips are going to be...
Exactly. No.
Permission slips. Molly, we call those waivers as adults. Actually, though, if skydiving has taught me one thing, and it's taught me a lot, you can waiver off anything.
That is true. Sometimes waivers don't hold up in court, FYI. But I'm no
Don't tell me
legal
that.
expert. Hey, so I just did a podcast recently, a solo cast. That's what we call them when I just go by myself. So
What'd you talk about?
excuses. And so we actually talked about this very thing. And so specifically you said, why haven't I done that? And, there's so many different reasons why people say, oh, the waivers or the money or the whatever. Maybe the truth of the matter is, it just hasn't been a priority to you. I mean, like,
And that's super true.
if
Right.
if you want to make something happen, you just make it happen.
Right. And if it's always at the bottom of a priority list, will it ever be done?
That's true. That's absolutely true.
I don't know.
All right, give me another. Give me one.
Oh my God.
Anything. Ask me anything, sister.
What outfit do you feel the most Paul in? Or like, or okay, I'll give you an option of one or the other.
Okay.
Or if what like accessory or what like prop or what something do you feel most equipped to live your life with? Like if it was like a whatever editorial view wearing like a black t-shirt and black shorts and then you had your one thing else, what would that thing be to like identify like you?
It's a bow tie. I mean,
Either way, it's a bow tie?
It's gotta be. I mean, it's
Wow,
like,
that you didn't pick which question you were answering. You just answered both.
yeah. I mean, it's just like,
Amazing. Look at him go.
for
You should
multiple
do a
reasons.
podcast.
I don't remember if this was on our first take or our second take. So forgive me if I'm repeating myself. But, oh no, it was our first one. You had said that pop a balloon, so money. You don't even know.
Dude.
He dabbles in the bow ties, really enjoys them, right?
Yeah, there is such thing as bow tie cool. There's lots of different genres of cool. And there's like casual Red Bull, skateboard cool. Bleh, yeah. And
You
then,
guys want to thrash?
And then there's like Scotch whiskey cool, And then there's bow tie cool.
Yes.
There's a special kind of person that's a bow tie cool.
what's-
And there's some crossover with the Scotch and bow tie cool.
True.
But a special kind of person is bow tie cool. My father is so bow tie cool.
But what's funny
Pop a
about
balloon,
that
ooh.
is you can't identify what that individual looks like. Like if I were to say bow tie cool,
Yeah.
I've seen a 75-year-old pharmacist wearing a bow tie,
Yes.
rocking the hell out of it. And then there's, the little 6-year-old that looks cute and adorable in his family photo.
Yeah.
So it's
And
just
he's
like walk tall.
bow tie cool.
Yeah, that's absolutely
And some
right.
of it is like implemented and like you'll look cute in this. You haven't like established your own fashion sense. But like by your like senior year of high school, if you're rocking a bow tie, you're already bow tie cool and you're gonna remain bow tie
Fair
cool.
enough. So
I'm bow tie cool. God, I'd rock a mustache so hard if I was a dude.
you should. What? Why
Maybe it's
if-
not a priority, dude. Get on it. You said the hormones are expensive and you don't want them in the first place, but just maybe you should priority it, dude. Prioritize it. Get a mustache. Step up.
So a couple of things to wrap this piece up. You mentioned that you really thoroughly enjoy wearing fun outfits.
I do.
And specifically because you find that oftentimes it creates a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was so quick to answer because bow ties have been just like magical in conversation creation when I'm on the road. Whenever I wear a bow tie, somebody inevitably always comes up to me and they say, oh man, that's really cool. Or why do you wear bow ties? Or whatever it may be. And so I find that super interesting. That you have the ability to create conversation just by something that you wear. And I think that's the power that you hold in wearing funny hats and
Funny hat.
checkerboard.
Funny? You think these are funny?
Oh, my bad.
Dead serious.
So, Molly Balloons, if the crew listening wanted to find you,
Duck crew.
you mentioned on the gram.
The gram?
What do the youngins call? Is it the gram? Is it the IG? What is it? I don't even know.
I think inherently in slang is the inability to keep up. And I love that. There's like too many options to keep up with. That's what I love about meme culture. Sorry, this is such a
No, I love
buddy
it.
trail, but I love that like big brands can't ever keep up with memes because it's just like 17-year-olds churning these things out from their parents' basement, and that there's nobody can monetize it. Just memes all over the place, running amok, and you have to just stay on top of it, and nobody can keep up. And I love that, and I think that's a little bit same with the vernacular of like calling it IG and the gram.
So
also,
you don't know.
I don't know.
You don't know then.
Oh my, there's just options.
All the options. So Molly Balloons on the gram.
Molly Balloons on the gram.
But like, I want to book you for an event that I'm having. What do I do?
Well, email me mollyballoons@gmail.
Okay.
I'm also on Facebook as Molly Balloons. Like me, in general.
I do.
Like me in general.
We do. Rob does too.
Oh my God, you guys!
Shots.
Aw,
Tear.
literally crying. Oh my God.
Is it literally or figuratively? Because you're not
I'm
crying.
literally crying. Wow.
Any send-offs? Any things that you would like to say in closing for folks that are going through something and they don't know how to have fun, or they're listening to you and they're like, gosh, man, I wish I could cut loose a little bit like that. What would you say to those folks?
Guys, what I would say to you is life is so much better than what you give credit for. So get out of your head, enjoy it, bring more fun, joy, and fulfillment to yourself, and gravitate more towards the things that give you strength.
Absolutely. One of my very favorite quotes in the whole world, and that's not for lack of good quotes, is by Howard Thurman. Ask not what the world needs, but instead what makes you come alive, because what the world needs is more people who have come alive.
Boom.
Gravitate towards what your soul's saying. That's real. I had some like hard moments in 2018, and it was once I got back on track of like, this is the real stuff of what makes my life, what makes me come alive. Then I got back on track.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you made it this far, you may have wondered what the theme was, but it just came full circle. Seriously. I mean,
Helium has been
at the
the
end of the
whole
day, we
theme.
just spent 46 minutes
Of your time.
of a guy and a gal just having a great time. I mean, I had a great time. I hope
Don't
you did.
exclude Charlie the Mannequin Head. Okay?
Sorry, Charlie.
Sorry, Charlie.
You get it? Sorry, Charlie. That's a saying.
Funny. I liked it when you were describing Charlie Hustle. You used the baddest, the cleanest, the something else. And I was like, wow, that's a really good binary to be living inside of. Like,
Sure
baddest
enough.
and cleanest.
And I just made it up.
Right then.
They should have me speak about their stuff like they should sponsor me. Guys, thank you very much for tuning in. I had an absolute blast with Molly Balloons today. I hope that you follow her, because if she brings you as much joy as she's done me, then you're in for a treat.
Yee.
From the bottom of my heart, I'd like to say thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you on the flip side. And this is Paul Long telling you and challenging you to find more fun in your day.
Stay unpoppable.
Put 'em up!
Brah.